and welcome to the Scale Modelling Cafe, and welcome to a chat video that I hope you're going to find fairly interesting. I'll try not to waffle on and repeat myself. This is the second take. The first one was too waffly, and I did keep on repeating myself, so I thought I'd quickly smash out another one. The subject of this video then is Eduard, my favourite manufacturer. Well, joint favourites with Armour Hobby, I think. And it was precipitated by a comment in their newsletter where they said that they fans of 72nd scale are going to be very pleased, which is quite cryptic. So that's one piece of information. We can assume that there is going to be new tooled 1/72nd scale kits next year. Maybe sort of the focus on 72nd scale, which pleases me greatly because 72nd scale is my preferred scale. The other bit of information, the other clue that we've got is Vladimir Solch. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce his surname. Let's call him Vladimir. We're all friends in this hobby. Vladimir said that there's been a bit of a downturn in sales the last couple of years. No doubt caused by the cost of living crisis. In the other video, I had a bit of a political rant. This is not a political channel. I'm not going to do that again. But cost of living crisis, disposable income for families has gone down, and I guess there's less money to spend on the hobby, even though it's a very cheap hobby compared to some. A friend of mine's just dropped £4,000 on a gaming computer. So, with those two bits in mind, I think split the video or split your comments into two parts. First part, what would you like Eduard to do? 72nd and yes, 48th. They did mention 48th, but they've announced pretty much most of their 48th catalogue next year, I would have thought. They've already said they're going to start the P40 series. They've already announced they're going to be doing some Stukas, which is really cool. We know the P51B Mustang has been brought forward, and unfortunately the S199 Mezek has dropped off the catalogue for next year, and we'll see that in early 25. Again, that was all mentioned about the kind of sales thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something that hasn't been announced already from them in 48 scale, but I wanted to concentrate in this video on 72nd scale. So as I said, I'm going to split it into two. On the one hand, have a bit of fun. What would you like them to do? What's your pet subject that's not there in 72nd scale that you would like them to do? But then on the other hand, put yourself in their shoes. Put your business head on and use the words that Vladimir used, and he said that they need to concentrate more on models that they know are going to be good sellers. To me, that's Spitfires, 109s, 190s, Zeros, Mustangs, that kind of stuff. They're bankers. So my first one is, I think we will see Spitfire Mark 5s, early Spitfires next year. Maybe the Mark 1, so it's a no-brainer the Mark 2 as well. But a series of Merlin engine Spitfires in 72nd. Obviously we've got the 9s, but I'm surprised they haven't done them yet. Spitfires always sell well. Certainly in Western Europe and certainly in the UK, 72nd is the most popular scale. I know it's different for other parts of the world. Certainly in Merca, 48th is very much dominant. But they said they're going to 72nd modelers are going to be pleased. So I think we're going to see Spitfires, and we're going to see the earlier marks of Spitfires. I'm really hoping we'll see Seafires as well. But bearing in mind what he said, I can't see it, which is a real shame. But there we go. Right, so that's the first one. The second one is, I think, treading on the toes of Tamir. Now, Tamir have beautiful 72nd scale Zeros, Corsairs, P47s. P51 sewn up by Armour Hobby. I can't see them doing the P51. But the Zero, the P47 and Corsairs by Tamir are actually, if you look at scalemates, quite old. And I think that Tamir could do a absolutely cracking job of brand new tooled ones of those. And I think they'd all sell really well. I mentioned the Zero first because obviously they are doing a series of Zeros in 48th. We've already seen the earlier ones. The A6M5 series is coming out next year. It's another 48 scale kits that have already been announced. So to me, shrinking them down into 72nd when they've already got all that research, and I know I know a couple of the Airfix designers fairly well, and speaking to them, that you just don't get your design and then divide it by whatever the number is, and then ta-da, you got a different scaled kit. It's a lot more nuanced than that, a lot more complicated than that. But if they've got all that research on the base subject, and they've got all the LiDAR scans and the outlines and the drawings and everything and all the research and blah, then I can see them doing the Zero definitely. Now, if I was them, I'd start off with the roof, because the Tamir kits are still out there and they're still readily available, and they are beautiful kits. They are more modern than the other ones I mentioned, but to me, that when you're talking about from a business point of view, with your business hat on, if you've already got all that research there, you can use all that and then design your 72nd model and off you go. And if you start from the roof, which isn't in the Tamir range, then so much the better. And then you can bring your other variants out in due course. So that's that one. The P47. Now, I thought they might go down the 48 scale route, P47, but obviously Mini Art have done theirs. And maybe that's kind of put the kibosh on 48th. Wouldn't that be lovely? Eduard 48 scale P47s. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but we're talking 72nd scale. So bobble tops, Razorbacks, certainly the Ds, maybe the N, but it's a completely different airframe really. So that's a lot of an investment for what's quite a niche variant. Likewise, the M is quite a narrow subject field. So I can see them certainly doing the Ds. I mean, it is in their makeup to do all the variants and cover them all. So maybe we would see them, but certainly starting with the Ds first, and then later on down the line, M's, N's, things like that. So yeah, I think we will see new tooled P47s in 72nd scale from Eduard. Right, Corsairs. same sort of deal. Corsair, the family of Corsair is obviously really quite long. You know, you've got the 1 and the 1A right at the start, to your sort of -4s, and the 4-4s. So quite a wide range of Second World War variants to go through. And then obviously you've got your post-war variants and into your Korean War, your -5s, AU1s, and then the -7s obviously was the French specific one. Now again, I would be tempted, if I was Eduard, to start off with those later variants that we haven't seen. Perhaps start off with the 4-4, so it is Second World War, and then move into your -5 and the AU1, maybe the -7, but then going back to the earlier ones once you've you know, been doing the ones where there is again a gap in the Tamir range, and then doing the same variants that Tamir has done. I think that would be the way ahead. So I can see them doing the Corsair as well. And kind of as well the P38. Now, I've kind of hesitated on the P38 because it's twin engine, and it's not really in their bag to do twin engine. Yes, they did their Mayhund the 110, but that's kind of the only thing they've done. And yeah, it's complicated, isn't it, the P38, and takes an awful lot of thought and design work. So I'm just thinking the investment from a time and money point of view would probably be better spent on those single engine models, and obviously they're going to be cheaper to produce as well because it's smaller, less plastic, than going down that route. Even though I think the modelling world could really do with new tooled P38s. I built the Academy kit. It's a beautiful kit. It really is. But again, I'm trying to have my business hat on rather than my heart hat. There we are. What would I love to see? Typhoons, Tempests, Sea Furies in 72nd scale and 48 scale. I think that would be fantastic. Sea Fires in either scale, 72, 48, would be fantastic. Griffin Spitfires would just, you know, I would mess my pants if they announced a Razorback 14, a PR19 in either scales, the bubble top ones as well. Certainly the Seafire 17. I must do that conversion. So I'm really kind of hoping for those, and that's my kind of wish list there at the very end, just for a bit of fun, and we'll see what happens. So it will be great to get your thoughts, your feedback. Again, try and split it into 2 halves. Try and split it into what you think they'll do, judging what they, you know, what they kind of do already, and then for a bit of fun, what would you really like them to see them do, but they're probably not going to do it anytime soon. There we are. It would be really interesting to hear your thoughts. So thank you very much for watching, and yeah, let's have a little bit of a chat in the comments below. Righto, cheers, see you later, bye bye.